Hey there, welcome back. If you've ever received an offer letter and thought, wait, my CTC is 8 lakhs, but my salary is only 45,000 a month? Where did the rest go? Then this video is exactly for you. Today we're breaking down the most foundational concept in HR and payroll, compensation and benefits in a way that's simple, fun and actually makes sense. No boring textbooks, no jargon soup, just straight facts with a side of humor. Let's go. So what exactly is compensation? Most people hear compensation and think, oh, that's just my salary. And to that I say, technically correct, but also deeply incomplete. Like saying, a biryani is just rice. Bhai, there is so much more going on. Compensation, also called total rewards, is everything an employer gives you in return for your work. It has three parts. 1. Direct financial compensation. This is your salary, bonus, commission, the stuff you brag about at family dinners. 2. Indirect financial compensation. This includes provident fund, gratuity, health insurance, paid leaves. You enjoy these benefits, but you never see them in your bank account directly. Sneaky, right? 3. Non-financial compensation. Growth opportunities, recognition, flexible hours, a good work culture. And here's the wild part. Research by McKinsey found that for employees who are reasonably happy with their salary, it's actually the non-financial rewards that drive long-term engagement. So if your boss won't give you a raise, tell them, sir, please at least give me a good work culture. Small win, but a win. Now, why do companies even have a compensation program? Can't they just pay people whatever and call it a day? Well, they could, but then their top performers would leave faster than free food disappears at an office party. Companies design CNB programs with very specific goals. Goal 1. Attract talent. Offer competitive packages or the talent goes to that startup down the road. You know the one with the ping pong table and unlimited vacation policy. Goal 2. Retain employees. Here's a fun fact. Replacing one employee costs anywhere from 50% to 200% of their annual salary. So, attrition is expensive is not HR drama, it's accounting reality. Goal 3. Motivate performance. Link pay to results. Variable pay, performance bonuses. These keep people focused. Without incentives, you get Rajesh mode. Showing up, doing the bare minimum, waiting for Friday. Goal 4. Ensure equity. Internal equity means Priya and Rahul doing the same job get paid similarly. External equity means your pay is competitive with the market because your employee will check Glassdoor. They already have. Goal 5. Legal compliance. Minimum wages, PF, ESI, gratuity, these are not optional. Pay them or enjoy explaining yourself to a labor court. Goal 6. Recognize achievement. High performers who feel invisible will quietly quit. Pay people well and recognize them bonus points if it's publicly and not just a pat on the back email. Let's break down what makes up a compensation package. And trust me, it's more complex than your electricity bill. Direct compensation. These are things paid to you directly, usually monthly. Basic pay and dearness allowance, the foundation of your salary. HRA, house rent allowance, helps you pay rent or pretend to on paper. Conveyance allowance for commuting, fully non-taxable up to 1,600 rupees per month. Incentives, bonuses and commissions for the overachievers among us. Stock options, when the company says, we can't afford more salary, but here's a slice of the future. Indirect compensation. You benefit from these, but you don't physically receive cash. Provident fund, your 12%, employer's 12%. Forced savings, future you will thank present you. Gratuity, 5 years of service gets you this lump sum. It's basically a loyalty bonus. Medical and life insurance, company pays premium, you stay healthy, everyone wins. Paid leave, sick leave, casual leave, privilege leave. Use them, they exist for a reason. Canteen, transport, club membership, yes, these are added to your CTC, every single rupee. Basically, when your company says, we provide so many benefits, now you know exactly what they're talking about. Okay, this is the slide that makes freshers cry. Why is your CTC 8 lakhs but your monthly salary is 45,000? Let me explain with a simple example from the material. Say your CTC is 7,84,600 rupees per year. Your gross salary is 6,75,000. That's all direct pay components combined. And your net take home just 4,90,097 rupees per year, about 40,000 per month. But bhai, where did 3 lakhs go? Great question. Here's where it goes. Employer's PF contribution, 12% of your basic, goes into your PF account. You get it later, not now. Gratuity accumulates for 5 years. Future money. Medical insurance, company paid premium. Your benefit, not your cash. Income tax or TDS, deducted at source. Government's cut. Employee PF, again, your savings, not current take home. Professional tax, small state level deduction. So when you add all that up, your CTC is not your salary. CTC is everything your employer spends on you. The formula is CTC equals direct benefits plus indirect benefits plus savings contribution. Take home equals direct benefits minus all deductions. Simple, right? Well, simple to understand anyway. The negotiation part, that's a whole other video. So, how do companies design their compensation programs? Is it just random? Is it vibes? Sometimes yes, but a good HR department follows a structured approach. Step 1. Define your compensation philosophy. Ask yourself, does our company want to lead the market, pay top 25%, match the market, pay at median, or lag the market? Lagging the market is basically saying we pay less but we have great culture, which works right until your employees update their LinkedIn profiles. Step 2. Establish internal equity. Make sure similar roles are paid similarly within your organization. Run a job evaluation. Compare positions. Don't let Priya earn 20% less than Rahul for the same role just because she didn't negotiate in 2019. Step 3. Benchmark external equity. Use salary surveys, know what competitors pay. Tools like AmbitionBox, Glassdoor, and industry reports are your friends because your employees are already using them. Step 4. Choose your component mix. Fixed salary, variable pay, reimbursements, contributions. Find the right balance for your workforce. Junior employees need more fixed pay for stability. Senior or sales roles can handle more variable components. A compensation program without a philosophy is like a biryani without spices. Technically, it's food, but nobody enjoys eating it. Before you can decide what to pay, you need to know the worth of each job. That's where job evaluation comes in. Job evaluation is a systematic process of comparing jobs within an organization to determine their relative value, so you can build a logical, fair pay structure. It's not about the person doing the job, it's about the job itself, which sounds cold but actually protects employees from arbitrary pay decisions. There are 4 main methods. 1. Job ranking, the simplest method. Just rank jobs from most important to least important. Works great when you have fewer than 30 positions. Downside, it's highly subjective. Someone always thinks their job should be ranked higher. 2. Job classification. Sort jobs into predefined grades like S, M, L, XL. Clear and consistent. But building the grade structure in the first place, that takes real effort. 3. Factor comparison. Break each job into factors: skill, effort, responsibility, working conditions, and assign a monetary value to each. Very precise. Also very complex. Your weekend plans are cancelled. 4. Point rating. Award points for each factor and sub-factor. Total points determine the salary grade. This is the most widely used method because it's structured, data-driven, and sounds extremely scientific in meetings. The result of job evaluation? A salary range for every role, with a minimum, midpoint, and maximum. New hires usually start in the first quartile, then salary grows with performance in time. Alright, let's wrap this up with your top 5 takeaways from today's video. 1. Compensation is not just your salary. It includes direct pay, indirect benefits, and non-financial rewards. 2. CTC is not your take-home. The difference goes into taxes, PF, gratuity, and insurance. No one is stealing from you. It's the system. 3. Good CNB programs attract talent, retain employees, and keep people motivated. Get it wrong and your best people walk. 4. Job evaluation is how companies determine what each role is worth and build a fair, rational pay structure. 5. Every company needs a compensation philosophy before designing any program. Without it, you're guessing, and guessing in HR is expensive. If you found this helpful, like this video. It genuinely helps the channel reach more people. Subscribe if you're a student, HR professional, or just someone who wants to understand where their salary actually goes. Drop a comment with your biggest CNB question. I'll answer the top ones in the next video. See you in the next one.